Are you having problems connecting with your audience on social media? If so, this video is going to blow your mind. These two AI prompts are going to help you unlock your audience's 3 top emotional triggers. It's kind of scary how well you're going to know your audience after you include this workflow into your social media approach. I am so excited to go over this with you. So let's hop right into it. It's a 2-part series. So let's get this first one locked down. Let's get it. All right. We are getting into how to find your audience's hidden emotional triggers with 2 simple steps. And I'm super excited to go over this with you and break down how easy it is actually now to create a content strategy for social media that allows you to really hit home with your audience, because you understand the 3 things that they focus on a regular basis, and use that to gain real connection with your audience. Now, I'm sure you're like saying, hey, there's 2 steps, but there's 3 things on the screen, right? But these 2 are connected in the first part of this video series. And then this last one right here will be what we go over in the second video. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So you might be thinking, what the hell is AAFO, right? I'm sorry, AAOF, right? And pretty much what that is that's your audience's area of focus, okay? And no matter what audience you're dealing with, they have a job, right? They're focused on specific things on a daily basis that move the needle in their industry, right? And so it makes no sense to create social media content if you don't understand what they focus on, so you can speak like them and, introduce yourself in a way that gets them to say, wow, you know what, this person really understands my daily grind, and they're actually creating something that fixes that, right? Not just putting out information and hoping something sticks, right? So we're going to simplify the content strategy for social media, for any content really, in a sense where you're going to know your audience's area of focus, as well as the FDF, as I like to call it, right? So let's get into that first, right? So the area of focus, like I said, is something that you specifically focus on daily in your job, and when you're talking to other people, and you're trying to actually gain their attention on the internet. And so this prompt right here is very, very simple, but extremely powerful. Okay. And that prompt is, what is the daily focus of and then insert your audience when they are doing a particular task. And then I want you to list them out in bullet points, right? And so this is going to help you. Actually, you know what? Let me put this here. Hold on. In bullet points with a description of the daily task. Let me add that there. Okay. Yes. So this is going to allow you to, see, I put it here. I just didn't write it up here with, all right, bullet points, and provide clear descriptions for each. For each task. Right? We're doing this like live, man. We're not messing around. I'm not jump cutting and editing all types of crazy stuff. I want you to see how it works, because as you create content, whether it's video or anything else, you need to just get through it, right? And be real. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so here's the prompt, right? And then here is the example, the same thing, but the daily focus of a social media manager when posting on social media, right? So this specific area is posting on social media, list them out in bullet points and provide clear descriptions for each. And when you run this particular prompt, you're going to get a list where things are completely mapped out for you in a list. And I'm going to run this so you can see it yourself, but I only put 3 here because, I'm not going to read through all of these, but you're going to get a very detailed list of exactly what that audience focuses on in their job. And that is extremely valuable and important, because what you need to do is you need to be able to talk the talk, walk the walk, understand what it is that they deal with every day and what the details are about that particular portion of their daily focus, right? So let me just pull up my trusty Claude here, and I'm going to run this through the AI for you. And you can use GPT, you can use Claude, you can use Perplexity. It depends on what model you like to use, but all of them pretty much will work exactly the same. The higher the quality of the LLM, the better your results. But this prompt is ironclad for all of them, so don't worry about it. All right, so let me just bring this over. All right, and we're just gonna drop it right into Claude Live. We're gonna hit go, and we're gonna watch what happens, right? And there you go. So social media manager, this is all the things that they work on. Okay, all of the things: preparedness, cross-department coordination, trend monitoring, performance, community engagement, content creation and curation, content calendar management, and scheduling, right? And so you want to have a specific list for your audience, right? And whatever that is, save it somewhere, read it, study it, understand what they're going through. This is for you. We're also going to use this within the next area in the second video, where I give you the super prompt that allows you to create incredible content calendar, right? And ideas for your content, right? So we have this now, okay? So now we have this. And so what you do is you copy that, you put it somewhere valuable where you're going to be able to find it, right? And then what you're going to do, so remember, this is audience area of focus. Let me write that there for you, right? Audience area of focus, right? So this is very powerful stuff. So now you have this, okay? And so now we're going to go into FDF, right? And these are the 3 emotional triggers that you want to exploit, I should say. I mean, that's the only other word for it, right? We're trying to sell things on the internet, but we're also trying to help people. And the only way that you can do that is by pulling out the most important areas that people struggle with, what they're thinking about, what they want, and then create content around that, right? And so let's just keep it real, right? And so pretty much it's like, if you want your audience to pay attention to you, then you need to know these, right? There can be dozens of them in each category, but we're only going to focus on the top 10. I call them FDFs, which is which is frustration, desires, and fears, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to grab this prompt right here, right? And it's going to say, I want you to do some research for me. Act as an expert, insert the expert of your industry, right? Or whatever that is, right? Tell me 10 frustrations, 10 desires, and 10 fears. That, add your audience experience with there, add the area of focus, right? So now we have this area of focus here of these things. Now I can just grab that and drop that into that prompt, right? Okay. And so there it says experience with that area of focus. Put it in a table, label x-axis 1, 10, and y-axis frustrations, desires, and fears. And here's an example. I want you to do some research for me. Act as an expert social media marketer. Tell me 10 frustrations, 10 desires, and 10 fears that small business owners experience with their social media marketing. Put it in a table format, and then we go through here. And this is the output that you're going to get. And again, we're going to run this through so you can see what it looks like. However, I'm just showing you at this particular point in time exactly what I got, right? And then you have your frustrations, lack of time to consistently post content, right? Difficulty measuring ROI for social efforts, constantly changing social media algorithms, creating engaging content ideas, standing out from competitors, and so on. Some of the desires are increasing brand awareness and reach, drive more traffic to the website, generate leads and sales for social, So you go through these and you make sure that when you're creating content, you're grabbing one of these frustrations and you're also grabbing one of the areas of focus, because now you are dialing in on what matters to your audience. And it doesn't make any sense to copy people on the internet in the sense of what they're talking about, right? They could be in the same niche, right? But they still have an avatar and an audience that looks at things differently, and they've done the research and found out what works for their audience. And you need to do the same in order to stand out and speak the language, so they actually stop scrolling and pay attention to your headline or pay attention to your social post, etc. Right? And so you can see now why we did the area of focus first, right? Because you need the next step when discovering your audience's frustrations, desires, and fears, right? So this approach is extremely powerful, right? It gives you the opportunity to clearly navigate social media without wondering if you're talking about things your audience cares about. And for example, let's say, you get 12 things depending on the business. Maybe you're in the legal field, maybe you're in the finance field, whatever the situation might be, whatever that job is, they have things that they do on a daily basis. And if you're trying to solve problems, then you need to have a clear point of attack, right? And so if you have 12 areas to focus on, you can use each one of those areas to pull out the different frustrations that they have, the different desires that they have about that particular area of focus, and focus on that, right? And I can guarantee you that your audience doesn't have other people talking to them like this, right? And really getting in, and the people that are doing it, right, are the ones that are crushing it on the internet, right? So the biggest part of this video is make sure that you have a list of what they focus on and what those fears and desires and those frustrations are before you create any piece of content at all. Because if you don't do that, you're going to struggle getting the attention that your audience needs from you. Okay? So let's grab this prompt right here, right? And I'm going to walk you through the same thing. Actually, you know what? Let's change it to solopreneurs. That's part of my industry. All right. So it's part of my audiences that I target. So let's bring back over Claude. All right. And let's drop this one in. All right, actually, let's just start a brand new chat. Okay. And I'm just going to throw this in. All right. Now, I want you to do some research for me. Act as an expert social media marketer. Tell me 10 frustrations, 10 desires, and 10 fears that solopreneurs experience with their social media marketing. Put it in a table format, etc. Right? Let's see what happens here. All right. And we're going to see. And there you go. Right? It starts making a table for you and giving you the information that they need. Now I'm using Claude. Claude's like 2023 or something like that. If you throw it into Perplexity, it's going to do the same thing for you, giving you information based off of internet searches. I'm just using Claude right now, but you know what? We can do the same thing in Perplexity, so I can show you, right? Let's do that. Perplexity AI. We're just going to drop this in, right? We're on Pro. You don't have to be on Pro. I mean, I think if you're on a free plan, you get like 5 internet searches a day or something like that, right? So you can use that. Well, let's see what we get here, right? Because here we got inconsistent engagement despite regular posting, time-consuming content creation while managing other business aspects, algorithm changes. These are frustrations we're looking at. Difficulty maintaining presence across multiple platforms. So you can see, you could just take this and drop this in to the super prompt that we're going to use later, and you're going to get different information, right? So that's the best part about this, is there's endless amounts of content that you can create based off of these 3 different categories and what those pieces of information in those categories give you for your industry. And we'll look at all of that in the next video, right? But here you go. You have your perplexity output. And again, time-consuming social media management, inconsistent content creation, difficulty finding the right audience, feeling overwhelmed by multiple platforms. Some things that are different here. Lack of clear social media strategy, content comparison with competitors, constant comparison with competitors, struggling to create engaging content. Desires, they want to build a strong, authentic brand presence, connect directly with ideal target audience, increase brand awareness efficiently, right? So you could see here, some of the fears are fear of making mistakes publicly, right? You can start talking about what I talk about, right? Making authentic content. It doesn't matter, right? Just make content and learn from whatever mistakes. If you're not getting any hits, learn from that. Say, okay, maybe this audience doesn't really care about that. Let me try another one, right? But with all of these particular frustrations, desires, and fears, you're gonna find something that clicks with your audience, and then you kind of double down on that, and then you find something else, and then now you start getting comments in your content, and you start talking to people and learning more things, right? But this is something that anybody can do, beginner or advanced, right? Because believe it or not, there's some advanced people out there that don't know this, right? They may have like a cookie cutter list of what some of the problems are, but they're not diving deep in and getting the descriptions based off of what someone's area of focus is. And so that's what I'm talking about here, is making sure that you do that, because taking the time to build this out, you're never going to need to do it again unless you run the same prompt a year from now, grabbing more information from the internet, and you find some different ideas. But people in the industries usually have the same type of issues that need problem solving for. So you'll have this, and this is really going to help you out. All right. So I wanted to drop this information first, right? And give you this first idea of what you want to do to create very good content for your audience. And now we're going to move into the second video and look at the super prompt and how you can use this information to create the best ideas for your content strategy. So if you like this video and you found it useful, subscribe, hit that like button, and get all the videos that I create every single week, because why wouldn't you, right? This is awesome stuff. It's mind-blowing that we have access to this now. You don't have to sit down and talk to a focus group anymore, right? Like, you can just go on the internet, get exactly what you need, and these two prompts are going to save an enormous amount of time for you. So with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Social Flip, you know what it is.